If you are in possession of only £20, which is about the same as $25, you could do many things actually. For example, you could buy an official Clarence House coaster from the Buckingham Palace gift shop, you could pick up about 14 packets of Waitrose home brand sausage rolls, or as of this week, you can buy the official coronation program. It's bound to be something that grandmothers and retired colonels all across the UK hold on to. But there, on the pages of the program, when the Archbishop of Canterbury is not talking about the sacral part of the coronation, is something that is pretty shocking. In the middle of this coronation souvenir is a photo of somebody we didn't expect to see. She is laughing, she is smiling, and she is right there. Of course, I'm talking about Meghan Markle. The program features a family photo that was taken in late 2018 to celebrate King Charles's 70th birthday, and it includes Meghan and Harry along with the King and his wife Queen Camilla, William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales, as well as their three precious kids. Now, if we were just to look at this photo in isolation, it looks like a nice photo, all family good humor, some nicely pressed shirts, but considering Meghan and Harry's seismic eruptions, the tears and the outbursts on TV, and all the pouting that has occurred in the years since it was taken, its inclusion is pretty shocking, if not a bit bizarre. But I think the king knew exactly what he was doing by including this photo. Now, when this stroke of genius came to him, I don't know. But anyway, for months now, the big question in this never-ending drama of Meghan and Harry has been, will they actually show up to the coronation? Because let's remember, this is the same couple who took all their family pain and transformed that pain into a lucrative small-scale industry. And then after Charles and William remained unmoved in the face of Harry's demands for apologies and hugs, and even the use of Balmoral whenever he wants it. Only 4 months ago, Harry released Spare, and we saw him lay down his terms, only for the King and William to basically get up and walk away. Poor old Harry has been left sitting at that negotiating table ever since January. He's ready for that apology. Meanwhile, his father and brother have just gotten on with life. Poor Harry. I mean, he's just left hanging on his own and waiting forever for that apology that is not going to come. And then last week, everybody found out at about the same time, thanks to a carefully timed release from Buckingham Press, that Harry is going to be going to his dad's crowning while Meghan is not going to be coming because supposedly she has to focus on celebrating their son Archie's 4th birthday. And what is interesting is that both Meghan and Harry packed up their kids for a quick trip to the UK last year for the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee, during which they celebrated their daughter Princess Lilibet's 1st birthday, supposedly. But interestingly enough, they are not willing to do the same for Charles, and people are wondering why. So that is where Charles's decision to include that particular photo from his 70th birthday, featuring both of his sons and their families, comes into play. It would have been easy for the king to have chosen some other photo of himself with the Wales family, or perhaps a childhood shot of him with just William and Harry. Or he could have just told his footman to instruct his private secretary to instruct the Buckingham Palace phone operator to place a little call to Kensington Palace to request that William and Catherine and the kids come by for a photo shoot. Practically, there's really no reason whatsoever that the king needed to use that photo, and there is simply no good reason that he had to choose one that included Meghan. And that leaves us with really only one possibility. The king is sending a message, and it's not a subtle one either. In spite of the Netflix mockuseries, the tell-all book, and all those interviews, and also how could we forget that one live stream where Harry admitted to experimenting with lots of drugs. In spite of having dragged the royal family through the mud and making money off of this family feud, His Majesty still loves Harry, and he views Meghan as a part of the family. It might be a stretch to say that it feels like maybe there is some longing here on the part of Charles, but I think it's also safe to say that this does demonstrate some degree of familial wishful thinking. Is it touching? Well, yes, but the important thing here is that it is also incredibly clever. Because clearly, at the core of the gospel according to Harry and Meghan is the idea that they were poorly treated by the royal family that was only interested in cozying up to Fleet Street and bragging on the heirs for whatever it is they were up to. Meghan and Harry, they claim, were locked in a two-tier system where they were forever relegated to second place. They suffered so much and they were so brave to walk away. Such a nice 5-bedroom free home they had to live in. So by including this photo in the coronation program, Charles is executing a swift kick at that argument. What this photo does is reinforce the idea that Charles is a loving father who equally adores both his boys, even if one of them is driving him crazy and sending Camilla to the drinks trolley earlier and earlier. It does deflate Meghan and Harry's sales just a little bit, with the added benefit of making the king look like the bigger person here, willing to offer up this nice gesture of paternal affection, even after everything that Meghan and Harry have said and done. It is also an image that tries to include Meghan in the coronation, even tangentially, even though she has decided she doesn't want to attend a once-in-a-lifetime event because she would rather be in California icing some sugar-free Paw Patrol cupcakes. I guess history's just gonna have to wait because those balloons are not gonna blow themselves up. The big question here is what will happen after the coronation when all the crowns are back safely locked inside the tower? Are Harry and Meghan going to continue waging this war against the palace? Will they keep on trying to make money off of the greatest dynastic falling out of the 21st century so far? And what in the world would Charles do in a scenario like that? It seems like the king is going to have a lot of Tai Chi in his future if he wants to remain calm. Because another thing is, it looks like the king is done playing Mr. Nice Guy. After all, he did evict Harry and Meghan from their home, Frogmore Cottage in the UK. King Charles also refused Harry's begging for more protection. And now he's basically kneecapping Harry by giving him no official role at the coronation. And then the woman who Harry made it pretty clear in his book he despises has become queen, and had her family offered official coronation roles too. Meanwhile, Meghan is too scared to show her face in the UK after her claims of suicidal ideation and racism, and also her hatred of the royal family. The Netflix deal was for about 5 years, and now it's a big failure. Meghan has said all that she could possibly say. Nobody wants to hear from her anymore. In only a year, she and Harry have completely destroyed their future. There is a fine line indeed between public interest and public boredom. Netflix management has to now see that their flawed acquisition of a pair of unhinged middle-aged gossips has turned into a complete disaster. It is a deal from hell. The financial consequences of King Charles's actions mean that nobody today is competing to throw any money at Meghan and Harry. See, they overplayed their hand, that is their problem, and they overestimated the source of their wealth, which was royal family gossip, and now all of that is beyond their reach anyway. I suspect that things were officially over for Meghan and Harry when their X Factor turned to worldwide laughter and derision thanks to that genius sitcom South Park, and also the restraint shown by King Charles.